obviously we had a great fall with a couple of wins and some individual wins as well. We're not going to rest on our laurels at all. We've got a great team chemistry going this year. We've worked really hard, both on the golf game, but on that chemistry, and we continue to recruit players for the future that fit into what we've started here. And I'm blessed to be associated with these young ladies. They're great in the classroom. They're great representatives of Mississippi State, and obviously they've been exceptional on the golf course. And that's, of course, what you want at the 4.5, 5-year mark of leading a program. And Coach Phillips and I only have our sights set high, but we really talk about a lot in practice how what we do every single day is how you win championships. So we don't let the pressure of a ranking, we don't let the pressure of winning 2 events already this year, we don't let the hype of all of that play into what our job is today. And that is to practice as hard as we can, have a very intentional practice with concrete goals, and use those stats every day to formulate a better practice and better performance the next day. So we head out to Florida State for our first event. There are some very strong teams in the field. It's our first time to go head-to-head with the current #1 South Carolina. They lost their #1 player to the LPGA, though. Several of the top teams in the country have experienced a loss to the tour. And I look at that and I'm thankful that Allie opted back, but I always knew that she would. And we're going to use every single bit of experience that we have to take care of the job at hand, and that is to play the best that we can play regardless of who's in the field.
You talk about being in year 5. Are you on schedule, ahead of schedule? Where are you at?
Honestly, I can tell you I expected to be here. I mean, you can expect it and you can plan for it and you're thankful for it, but I don't think unless you really can see yourself and the team buying into what you dream, I don't think you can attain it. So I think it was a cooperative effort of all of us, and really having the guts to dream it, and really having the guts to believe that we can be a powerhouse in golf. I believe it.
You're number 3 right now.
Yes, sir.
What are the strengths? Obviously, this team is very, very strong, but what are the true strengths of this team? Is it just a mixture of veterans and young ones, and what?
You know, I think it's experience from our 2 seniors. I think it's an incredible talent pool of our sophomores. And I think it is the chemistry. It all goes back to, do you believe and do you think that you can compete with the best in the country? And I believe that answer is absolutely yes. We have the facilities now. Even when we didn't have the facilities early on, though, we had minimal. We just turned it around and said, you know, if we can get better and compete now on this, can you imagine how much stronger we're going to be as we add to that arsenal of facilities and as the golf courses become more challenging? And we would come up with creative ways to challenge them. We play from the red tee box and see what you shot, play from the back tee box and see what you shot. And you know, we'd trade golf clubs for 9 holes early on in the year, and can you perform? Because what if the airline loses your luggage? What are you going to do then? I still need you to play, and I still need you to believe that you can play with another set of golf clubs. And how good can you dream to be? So, good Lord, it's fun.
Allie gets talked about a lot. Jessica's had a nice, fall. Whatnot. Where do you think she's at right now?
You know, sitting between these 2 young ladies, and you guys, it doesn't happen very often. The talent of these 2 young ladies, and to be going into a spring with their experience level, and we got Curtis Cup participant, multiple winner in collegiate level, blowing the doors off as a freshman and having a great fall like she had, coming in tied for 4th as an amateur in a Taiwanese LPGA event. The world tournament experience that these 2 have, all at Mississippi State. And the benefit to me, though, as a coach, is that they get to share their confidence, their knowledge, their experience with these other team members and challenge them to say that you can do whatever it is you want to do. You just must believe and train and love this like we do. And I think that's the atmosphere that we try to create at our practices, at our team meetings that we just got out of. We do it every day. We do it every day.
We'll open the floor for questions for Alan, please. Alan, you got here as a freshman. Did you anticipate your final year here being able to compete for a national championship?
I did. I mean, that's why I came to Mississippi State. I knew Coach had a vision, and it was big for me to find someone that aligned with. And growing up a Mississippi State fan, obviously, it meant a lot to leave a legacy here, and it's been more than I thought it would be. You know, freshman year, I thought maybe it could happen, but now it's more of reality than it is a dream. So it's been fun.
Teacher, what's the progress that you've seen, I guess, from year one with Allie to now? I mean, obviously you said you expected to be here, but what's it been like those years to actually, if you think it, but then actually do it?
I didn't expect anything different. I really didn't. You know, these ladies, they do what they say. You know, part of our concepts is the acronym DOGS, and that's discipline, attitude, will, gratitude, and selfless. And we remind ourselves of them every single day. They're on our bag tag, they're on our golf bag, they're on our backpack. We talk about it once a week in our mental conditioning meeting, but they really show those attributes every day. I didn't expect anything different. I really didn't. I believe that people live up to what you set that bar at. My coach just released her first book. She was the only coach at Texas. For 30 years, she led that program. And I was flipping through and tears in my eyes, seeing all the pictures of me when I weighed, you know, what I weighed, and I was 6'1", and thought I was fat then, and we laughed and had big hair in the 80s, you know, the whole deal. But just to be a part of that, and then look at these girls and know that they're creating that same thing with us, that's humbling, man. That is what you do for. And hopefully someday they'll look back at their pictures and go, oh my gosh, look at that, you know. But that's what you live for. You hope you influence, you hope you get them to believe and buy in and dedicate and sacrifice, and they do. That's just it. It doesn't take, you know, they're already innately and inherently talented and driven and want these things. And we're just fortunate that it was Mississippi State they chose to exhibit all those things for us.
You mentioned the mental conditioning meeting. I'm curious, first much as you're willing to share what that entails. I know golf, obviously, an incredibly mental sport that seems necessary.
Well, we do a lot of different things. It's more about training yourself mentally to be ready for shot recovery. You're going to hit bad shots. How do you get over that very quickly so that you're prepared to hit the next one well, or to minimize damage? We talk a lot about just don't make doubles. So if you battle out there and try to get away with a bogey. How do you prepare yourself to mess up? Because you're gonna. So how can you deal with that once you do? It happens. And then how do you get yourself in a peak performance state? We've done a lot of training. We work with, you know, experts in the field, and we read books, and we discuss concepts and how we function the best that we possibly can. And we dedicate an hour of our 20 to that very thing. So I believe it's critical. And obviously it's panned out with performance and being able to handle the things that happen out there in the heat of competition.
I guess on the same note, and this is for everybody, as you've gone through this, obviously, you know, whether it's other coaches, other players, you know, people around college golf, the last couple of years as you've kind of gone from, hey, we're kind of jumping up and surprising people to, all right, we're in this, and now looked at as one of the favorites. What's that adjustment like, I guess, as coach and players to perform at the same level with different expectations?
Well, like I said, I thought coming in here that we had that shot, and like I said, it's become more of a reality every day. And this semester, it's gonna be bittersweet. But I think everyone is gonna, you know, hit it full force. Like we're not going to be scared of it. A lot of people shy away from pressure, and I don't think you put any pressure on yourself. It's just, you know, take what you're given you forget about it and you move on. And just day to day, everything that we do, we work hard to get to where we want to be when the national championship comes around. And I think, truer than anything else, if you look at every other golf team in the NCAA, you don't have the chemistry that we have, and I think that's what's going to give us a head on everything else when it comes down to the national championship. And we go to tournaments and people are really jealous of the way that we act because we're serious on the golf course, but when we get off the golf course, it's all fun, and I think that's what makes this team so special.
And Jessica, with all the success you've had, how confident are you coming into the spring?
Because from the fall, and I played well until all the way through the Christmas break, I think I can do better because every time when you play better, each time that you feel like you can do better than the next time. And especially we work hard, and the way I think is we deserve this. If we work hard, we do what we plan to do.
Mm-hmm. That's an example of the attitude. Yeah, we shot 13 under in a round, but I missed that 3-footer for birdie over there. That's a prime example, though. And now that we've been to the national championship a couple of times and we're thankful for it, our expectations are different. We've been there. We know what it feels like. It's just another golf tournament. We're there to play our game, get us in the top 8, and we can beat anybody in the country. That's when it becomes match play and a little bit different mentality. So with the shift of the format, I would put these girls up against anybody in the country.
I'll take the last question.
Ginger, I'm curious, as a campus perspective, as a coach, is there, maybe some of the athletes can kind of chime in too, is there a friendly competition in the sense that, the football team goes to the Orange Bowl, or, Mississippi State women's basketball is getting some notoriety, 22-3, that now it's kind of your turn to take the baton and carry that winning-esque into your season as well?
You better believe it, my friend. If I promise you that coaches are as competitive or more competitive than the student athletes we coach. I'm inspired by and challenged as a result of watching Vic Schaefer out there on that basketball court. I eat it up. And I want to make sure I do my part for the Learfield rankings. And I want to make sure I do my part to help get these girls where they need to be. So absolutely, I feed off Dan Mullen's notoriety, ESPN, all the coverage that he gets maroon on that television. I use every bit of it to inspire both myself to work harder, but inspire these young ladies that we're doing our part every single day. I love it. I love that part. I want to make sure that women's golf is always there representing Mississippi State athletics in the highest regard, and then making sure that we're at the national championship. I want to make sure that our division is toeing the line.